Shadow of Mordor is a third-person action RPG that takes place in Middle-earth. Right off the bat, this is probably the best game set in Middle-earth that I've ever played. But of course, that means nothing if you have no idea what Middle-earth games I've played. So, is Shadow of Mordor worth your money? Let's find out. Graphically speaking, this game is beautiful, even a few years down the road. Maxed out with the HD texture pack, even more so. But I experienced some random stuttering on my high-end system, which I believe was caused by that texture pack. It may be in the base game without the texture pack though, so be warned that this game might not be the easiest to run. The voices of the orcs are gritty and true to their nature, and the acting behind every voice in this game is top-notch. Sound effects are well done. I have zero complaints in the audio department, just well done. The gameplay is the bread and butter of Shadow of Mordor, but it has widely been compared to Assassin's Creed due to its style. In fact, the entire game has been called an Assassin's Creed ripoff by plenty of consumers and even some reviewers. This statement is utterly false and was clearly coined by someone who never played past the first few missions of the game. While the gameplay styles are similar, there are many vast differences. Playing as Talion, you have umpteen thousand more abilities than ever before at your disposal, from branding to wraith stuns to bow focus and more. You are playing a vastly more powerful character in this game. Some say that makes it too easy, but I disagree there too. If you have any friends that have played this game, you'll log in and probably find evidence that they've died somewhere and be given a chance to avenge them. That's because it's really easy to die in this game. You may play the all-powerful Wraith-merged Talion, but he is still human. You have a limited health bar, and attacks in this game hurt a lot more than they do in any Assassin's Creed game. Of course, here you have your last stand ability, which, while useful, doesn't mean you won't die again if you haven't yet figured out how to defeat that which just put you down. And there's even more, as Shadow of Mordor isn't all about running around and fighting things. You can brand orcs to carry out your orders or dominate them for information, which is easily the best part of this game, which is something the devs definitely figured out, considering they made an entire DLC where every single mission forces you to brand something. And finally, you can run around finding collectibles and completing challenges, which are easily the worst parts of this entire game, but we'll get to that in a second. First, I just want to note that the gameplay can occasionally be a little buggy. Some things glitch out. Sometimes the game puts Caragors in places that allows them to run outside the mission area, attack someone you're supposed to protect, and force you to kill it without being able to actually run after it to fight it in melee combat. And sometimes, now this really isn't a bug, but sometimes the game decides to force you into keeping stealth, and the moment someone sees you for a split second, even if they die immediately after they see you, you insta-lose the mission and have to restart from the beginning. How fun is that? That's my favorite part of action-adventure games. Thanks! The story of this game is pretty great, if a bit head-scratchy, if you're big into Middle-earth lore. I tossed most of my care about the lore out the window though, and I just enjoyed the game for what it's trying to be. The story is only delivered within the 20 main missions the game gives you though. Missions which are very short and can be completed in 5 hours. Yeah, that's right. An originally $60 game whose missions can all be completed in 5 hours. It makes you wonder, where's the rest of the content? I'll tell you where. All those collectibles you can find, and the couple dozen repetitive challenges you can do, there it is. That's it. That's all the content in this game. Instead of delivering a long main story, you get repetitive, open world, grindy garbage that bases its fun entirely off of the challenge of the game, which by the time you beat the story doesn't feel very challenging because of the overpowered runes you have equipped, and the fact that you can brand literally every single war chief in a map to make the enemies around you fucking minuscule. And the maps? The maps are so small you wouldn't believe it. When I first started the game, I looked at the map and thought, oh, okay, I get it. This is a tutorial area, and after this they're going to send me off to the big map. Nope! That first map you start on is roughly half of the total play area in the entire game. DLCs included, since they didn't make new maps for those either. And by the time you finish that map, you're already more than halfway done with the game. The worst part is that the entire story and the ending were so obviously just the setup to the upcoming sequel, Shadow of War, that you could feel it 3 missions into the game. This entire game felt like a proof of concept. There's almost nothing here. Overall, though, I still did love what I got, even if I didn't get much. Shadow of Mordor is really solid on everything it does, but unfortunately, it doesn't actually try to do very much. It gets a 7 out of 10 from me. It's a good game, but the length of its story and the sheer amount of garbage miscellaneous content that only appeals to completionists drags it down a whole lot. It certainly succeeded in its likely goal, however, which was getting me excited as ever for Shadow of War. I do recommend Shadow of Mordor as a game, but only if you're willing to look at it as the proof of concept it is. This is no full game. This is the prequel of what is hopefully the full upcoming title, Shadow of War. At its current $20 price, I only recommend it if you're a completionist. Otherwise, get it on sale with the Game of the Year Edition upgrade, which comes with 2 story DLCs to help lengthen your playtime. But beware, the Beastmaster DLC is filled with overpowered exploding crossbow bolts that can kill you in 2 burst fires and have 0 friendly fire on the orcs shooting them, and can be shot at point blank. The Bright Lord DLC, well, it has its own glitches. Audio glitches.
I've seen him! Get him! Disarm him! I'll get him!
If you found this review helpful, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on our gaming content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Death!